Hello and welcome to the discourse. So we are back to the Elizabethan era, and today we will discuss some of the most important and influential poets of the golden period of English literature. We have already covered Edmund Spenser and his literary works, including his famous poem The Shepherd's Calendar and his magnum opus epic Fairy Queen. Today we will elaborate on the poetic works of Thomas Sackville, Sir Philip Sidney, and John Drayton. Thomas Sackville was an English statesman, poet, and dramatist. He was the son of Richard Sackville, and Queen Anne Boleyn was his aunt. In this sense, he was directly linked to the English Renaissance or the English Reformation. Sackville is known for his literary contributions. He was the co-author of the first English play that was written in blank verse. The name of that drama was Gorboduc, and he co-authored the drama with Thomas Norton. He is also known as the main contributor to the poetic series Mirror for the Magistrates. Mirror of Magistrates was a continuation of The Fall of Princes by John Lydgate, and the purpose of this poetic series was to reflect on the lives of famous, successful, and influential people of the past, and to analyze their good deeds and their failings, so that the current people of influence, the current magistrates, could learn from them and avoid similar mistakes. Thomas Sackville joined the bandwagon of Mirror for the Magistrates in third edition in the year 1563. His two contributions to Mirror for the Magistrates were Induction and the Complaint of Henry Duke of Buckingham. These were very successful poems, and even today these poems are known for their literary merits and features. The poem Induction talks about an infernal region where the poet reaches and encounters two ghastly figures representing terror and sufferings. Infernal region is a Christian term. It means Narka. It is the abode of Satan and evil forces, and in this infernal region, the sinners are punished for their wrong deeds. The poem Induction is known for its allegorical powers and its tone of somber stateliness. The next poet that we will discuss today is Philip Sidney. Sir Philip Sidney was one of the most influential poets of Elizabethan era. His major literary works were Astrophil and Stella and The Defense of Poesy. Philip Sidney was known for his exceptionally good looks, but unlike Thomas Wyatt, he was more famous for his strong character, bravery, and good nature. There are many stories of chivalry of Philip Sidney, for which he got the title of Sir. Sir Philip Sidney was active against the Spanish Armada to protect sovereignty of England. He got a deadly injury during the Battle of Julfan against the Spanish Armada. While he was wounded, he saw another Spanish soldier brutally attacked and about to die. He offered his water to that soldier, saying, "Thy necessity is yet greater than mine." Philip Sidney was not a professional poet or writer. He always resisted publishing his poetry and essays for monetary purpose, and all his literary works were published only after his death. He was one poet who used to write for his own pleasure and for the pleasure of his friends. Literary works of Philip Sidney. The first one is The Lady of May. It is his first poetic work, and it is a masque which was written and performed for Queen Elizabeth in 1578. The plot of this masque was that an old lady reaches Queen Elizabeth while she was strolling in the garden and asks her to help her in deciding the best suit for her daughter. She says that she has a beautiful daughter and two suitors are pursuing her hand in marriage. So she asks Queen Elizabeth to help her in deciding whom she should marry, her daughter. It is a pastoral play. The second work of Philip Sidney is Astrophil and Stella. It is a poetic sequence of 108 sonnets and 11 songs. Astrophil is a Greek compound word meaning star lover, while Stella is a Latin word meaning star. So in this poem, Philip Sidney represents himself as Astrophil and depicts Penelope as Stella. This work of Sidney is influenced by Petrarch and Ronsard in tone and style. It was published in 1591 after his death. In this work, Sidney depicts a lover who pursues his love lady, but she doesn't respond and doesn't love him back. But at the end, she acknowledges her love for the lover, yet doesn't respond back. The poem follows Petrarch's rhyme scheme. Cupid is the main protagonist of the sonnets of Astrophel and Stella. The last sonnet ends in no resolution. The third work of Philip Sidney was The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. There are two versions of this work, which is also known as the Arcadia. The two versions are Old Arcadia and New Arcadia. It is a romance containing pastoral elements, and the mood of the poem is Hellenistic model of Heliodorus. The poem has 5 books based on the 5 part structure of classical drama. Arcadia described idealized version of shepherd's life. It is a pastoral poem joined with stories of struggles, political treachery, battles of jousts, kidnappings, rapes, and so many other things. These stories are connected with each other as in Greek model of drama. Arcadia is a very important work as it inspired many other dramatists of Elizabethan era, including William Shakespeare, who borrowed the Gloucester's subplot of King Lear from Arcadia. Also, other popular dramatists such as John Day and James Shirke dramatized parts of Arcadia. When King Charles I was executed, he was reported to quote lines from this book Arcadia before he was executed. Also, Samuel Richardson borrowed the name of the heroine of his first novel from the name of the heroine of Arcadia, which is Pamela. The Defense of Poesy is Philip Sidney's next work. It is also known as Apology of Poetry. It is not a poem, it is an essay. It is a work of literary criticism. This essay gave Sir Philip Sidney the title of being the first literary critic of Elizabethan era. He wrote this essay before 1583 as he was influenced by a fellow co-author, Stephen Gosson. In this essay, Philip Sidney deals with the criticism of poetry by Plato, and he integrates classical and Italian concepts of fiction. The main defense of Philip Sidney is that poetry combines the liveliness of history and the ethical depth of philosophy in more effective manner than history and philosophy both, and it helps the reader to gain virtues. In this work, Sidney also analyzed the works of Edmund Spenser and the Elizabethan drama stage. The last work of Philip Sidney that we will discuss is the Sidney Slams. Philip Sidney also translated the Slams of Bible in English, which were compiled and published by her sister Mary in 1595 after his death. The next poet that we will discuss is Michael Drayton. Michael Drayton was another influential writer of Elizabethan age who wrote odes in English in Horatian manner. He imitated Horace, the Roman classical writer. His first work was Harmony of the Church. It was a collection of spiritual poems. It contained a version of Song of Solomon which was expressed in an exuberant manner. This work was banned and all its copies were burned and destroyed. The next work of Michael Drayton was The Idea, The Shepherd's Garland. It contains 9 pastorals celebrating the love and sorrows of the poet-lover under the name of Roland. Drayton expanded the same theme of idea in 64 sonnets, which was again published in 1594 under the title Idea's Mirror. In these sonnets, he talks about a lady living by the river Anchor. He tries to win her love but fails, and he remains a bachelor. In 1593, he published The Legend of Piers Gaveston, which are historical poems written in heroic couplets. His next work was the epic Matilda, which was published in 1594. It was written in rhyme royal. In the same year, he completed Endymion and Phoebe, but it remained unpublished till his death. In 1596, he published Morte Meriados. This poem was written in Ottawa Rima. In 1597, he published England's Heroical Epistles, written in heroic couplets. It is a series of historical studies. He imitated Ovid in this work. In 1694, he published the satire titled The Owl, in which he criticized the reign of James I. His next work was titled Poems, Lyric and Pastorals. It contained odes and eclogues. It also contained a much refined satire titled The Man in the Moon. It also contained a much celebrated poem, Ballads of Agincourt. In 1558, he published Polly Albion, which contained 18 books. In this work, he celebrates and talks about the reign of Queen Elizabeth, the discoveries, the scientific advancements during her reign, and other successful stories. It is one of the longest English poems. The major poets of Elizabethan era. In the next video of this playlist, we will begin our discussion on Elizabethan dramatists and drama. Please stay tuned to the discourse and please subscribe to the discourse. Thanks and regards.